Hey guys, it is Sunday, 20th, and back here on the Duramax. Got a good night's sleep last night. Just sort of forgot about this for the evening and did some stuff around the house last night. This project, I've been putting 7 days a week in on it, and it's getting to me for sure. A bit sore. Using the DA sanders and things like that, that vibration can get to you, and I must have pinched a nerve or something in my shoulder because my arm's been giving me trouble. Been getting kind of sore at night. I must sleep on it wrong or something. I don't know. So did some stretches this morning and felt pretty good, and said, "What the hell? Let's put a third wipe on this side." I still need to get a longer block. I did a little bit of work with the monster here, and then went to the smaller, softer block. This guy right here, this is a little 3M soft hand block, stick it block. I'd say that's probably maybe a 5-inch block. So I'm needing some hardener up here, and we're going to put one more wipe on this. It feels pretty good. I still got a little dink of a high spot there, but I think I'm going to end up burying that. Feels pretty good. This corner feels a little funky right here, but the rest of it feels okay. So I'm going to put a nice tight wipe on this side, and we're going to go from there and see where I end up. I'm going to feather it out a little more. This is sort of right where this weld zone is. There's a crown on the side of the bed because the bed kind of swoops up there. So that's part of the reason I'm hitting that, because I'm trying to block it too flat. I need to be concentrating more on creating that contour. But I'm going to give it a whack here with the old pick hammer one last time, because it's a bit much. I've got this finished out in 80 grit, and I took the DA around my outskirts with 180 just to try and knock some of those scratches down, because I don't know how far I'm going to go over that paint with my filler. I'm going to try really not to go over it with the filler so much here, but I got a couple of heavy straight line 80 grit scratches that squeaked up into there, and I'll have to minimize those down before I put any glaze over it, because 80 grit scratches sometimes will come back through that glaze. So I'll get this filler mixed up here. I got the board in the other room. Different varieties of spreaders here. I got a little cutoff guy here from a large spreader, and then I have a small spreader, and I really don't like to whip Bondo like this with the stir stick, but at least get it started here, and I'll start folding it together. Again, I'll let the pinholes get taken care of with the glazing. So I'll get that in the garbage can. Filler wasn't quite warm enough. So I had the heat going for probably the better part of an hour in here. It's pretty cold today. It's 25 outside, but the sun's shining, and I couldn't bear to sit in the house and stare out the window at the fact the sun was shining today, because it's been kind of a dismal sort of weather lately. The temps haven't been too bad this week, but it's been one of those situations where it's been real cloudy and just kind of puts you in a winter funk. At least it does for me. So that's looking pretty nice there. Wipe that spreader tight on the board, get anything that might not have been mixed up off of it. Throw this in the bucket of lacquer thinner in here, clean it up. I saved my old gun wash and I keep it in a dirty mixing cup with like a throwaway brush, and that's what I use to clean up my board with instead of using fresh stuff. I have blown this off thoroughly with compressed air. So we should be good to go. That's the corner that I don't like. You guys say, well, you've wiped that 3 times and there's a lot of material on there. Well, most of it's on the floor, so let's see what I can do with this. I might have screwed up and not mixed up enough, but maybe we'll be all right. For the most part, this feels real good where it transitions down at the bottom. Into is filling in this crease again. So I'm kind of working this backwards. I'm definitely lightening up my pressure here, just kind of make sure that I don't take a bunch of material off. Looks like that stuff is way out where it doesn't need to be, but it's okay, because we will take care of that when we start blocking this out. Mixed up the exact right amount there. I think I might have got lucky. here to get sanded off later. And that's another wipe on the old Duramax. I'm hoping that's about it. As it starts to kick, you can certainly push a little tighter and get her the way you want her. So I guess the motto is put it on, take it off. Still sanding. And buy good body filler that will flow out and do what it's supposed to do. That should be my last wipe on this side of lightweight body filler. And the rest of it will be blazing putty, hopefully at that point. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. So I'll shut you guys off there, and we'll show you the other side here in a minute. I'm going to clean this Bondo board up, so hang tight. Alright, back over on the driver's side here, and for those of you guys who don't know when to start and stop sanding, you know, guide coat doesn't have to just be for doing primer blocking. I like this kind right here. I like the dry stuff better, but it's expensive. Cheap black lacquer spray paint, the cheapest you can get, not enamel. Cheap, $1 or $2 can spray paint, not equipment enamel, not engine paint, not any of that. Just crappy black lacquer paint will also work. This is only like $3 or $4, so I just buy it. If your hand can't tell you where your lows are, this will. I mean, I can already see from starting to block this filler that I've got a little low there, a little low there, and a little low there. And I have not finished blocking it. But I'll go ahead, just for the sake of a video here. We'll put some guide coat on that. Give that 1 minute here, and it should be dry enough. I can block that out. So this is the way that I taught myself where to start and where to stop. When I started getting better at being able to get my filler straight, I would start blocking the filler with guide coat. Now, you might say, well, you've got overspray of that stuff on your painted surface. Well, for this box side, I don't even care, because I'm going to sand the whole box side and it'll come off. And the whole box side's getting painted. I mean, there's no sense in me trying to spot prime this big area, spot prime this up here. There'll be like that, you know, a finger width that won't get primed. Plus I got to prime both these. And I've got to sand the bottom of the bed to get stone chips out of it, and that's all going to be primed. So there's no point in not priming the whole bed side and blocking it, in my opinion. So today's Sunday, guys. Get on the mumble so we can talk about a bunch of nothing. Hopefully we don't talk about another bunch of politics this week, because I don't like that kind. I don't have anything to contribute, first of all, and second of all, I don't know enough about it to talk about it. I'd rather talk about sanding body filler and fixing my truck and doing stuff like that. Alright, so that's dry enough that I can start blocking this now. I don't have my big block, and I'm not worried about it because I know I'm going to need another wipe. This will get me close enough to where I want to be. But I'm going to take this block and I'm going to do something a little different here. This is 80 grit on this block. I think the camera will show that I have that paper hanging off the edge about 1/4 of an inch. And I'll tell you why. If you overhang that paper a little bit, put that edge of the sander down in here, I've still got a pretty good lip, and I want it to sand the stuff that I don't want out of this edge. We're going to kind of sand at an angle like this, and ideally I would have a block that's about this long, but I still don't have one, so I'm going to get this as close as I can before I glaze it and then put a big block on it. I'll just do this top section as quick as I can just to demonstrate this here, and we'll call this the end of today's video because you don't need to watch me wipe this side too. After wiping the other side, you'll be stuck with another hour video, and we can do that today. The idea would be to have a block, the appropriate size to do this, because 2 reasons. It'll be straighter and it'll go faster. But I think you guys can already kind of see where I'm at with this. We already know these keep poking up. These are highs, and I'll keep tapping at them here. But by the time I get my lows up here filled, I can float over those. What little bit will be left. Same thing on the other side. So I'm not sweating it. We're still not going to have more than 1/8 of an inch of filler, and the worst part here, most of this is going to be paper thin, except for these couple of warped spots up here. They'll probably be closer to, 1/8 of an inch or somewhere along in those lines. But you can already see you got dots of black in the middle of all this. Maybe you can't. Maybe I should bring you closer. You should be able to see those dots of black in there. This one's probably a little easier to tell, but again, I haven't sanded much on that. And what I'll do is I'll get, let me back this thing up again. I'll go along this edge down here where this body line starts to dip in and get all the filler out of that. And we'll put another wipe on this side just like I did the other one. This has not had a second wipe. This is the first wipe of lightweight filler on this box side. If you remember, I did run a little bit short. I ended up having to come back when I put my second wipe on that side. I wiped this down here. So before I put my next wipe on, basically what I'm trying to do is knock the highs down and get it somewhat feathered in. And each time I wipe this, I'm going to try and contain into a certain area as long as I'm blocking flat, so that I don't have a ridge body filler hanging out and keep sanding farther and farther, because that you can let a repair grow. The sky's the limit. You could have it so that you've got body filler 4 more inches out or 6 more inches out, each direction, and it could be paper thin. But in this situation, I'm probably only going to be out to about here, another 2 inches out and up to here, with a thin tight wipe on there. So it's going to look like this repair is huge, and it really isn't, because that body filler is super, super thin. And the way I want to do this, I want to block this because it crowns in the middle. I want to block on this and then block on the top. Even though I'm still cross sanding over it a little bit. That's the reason I rolled that paper down, because I'm already starting to knock the filler out of that. same thing up in here. This sort of starts to roll back out flat, and that weld zone is damn near in that transition zone. So there's not going to be a lot left over when I get done blocking it. That's kind of what I want to show you. We see we got still those lows up here. I might have high there, I don't know. It could just be an illusion right now, but I've still got a little bit of a low still up into here because I'm not cutting that edge off. And I know this corner's funky. I can feel it without even having to put anything over it. This transition isn't bad, but I'm trying to keep that body filler out of that line where that wheel arch starts so that I can blend back into it and I have a straight existing metal that I know where I'm going to. So that's just a kind of a quickie how I do. So you got 20 minutes worth of it here, guys. Talk to you on the mumble tonight. Later.